Okay, it's Friday, February 4th. Just wanted to show you a trade I just made here on Apple, buying it at 172.85 and selling it here at 173.75. And if you look at it here, first, this is a 1-minute chart. You can see I bought it here at the blue line after it came down and started up, and then had the target up here at the red line, and I just exited. So on the 15-minute chart, what that looks like in terms of the way I typically trade, it's a nice pullback to after a move up, and then you had the 15-2 down, 2 up, and then you buy there and exit at the target, and it still could head higher into the close. We have 45 minutes to go. What's developed here overall, this is late on Friday. I'm kind of following the SPY in the market overall, a lot of stocks. We definitely have the classic 3-day forming where we started lower on the day, we moved up above the halfway point. I could see this earlier in the session with so many stocks rallying strongly, and my anticipation that we're really going to close strong for the week. I went over that, I think, on another video, but if I look at it here on the weekly chart, now this is confirming this big 2 down, 2 up week in terms of the fact that we broadened out on the monthly and quarterly 2 weeks ago, and then you want to see that follow through to confirm it. We had a couple of down day on the daily chart. We had a couple of pause days here, and then today was the classic day. I was actually looking for an up opening when you had stocks like Amazon, and if I go to the 15-minute, well, on this chart here, you can see we had some after hours up action given Amazon's earnings, so I was expecting a 2 down, 2 up, but then we kind of opened up lower on the day a little bit. But as the day went on, we just kind of probed the low. We moved all the way up past the 50% mark of the prior day, and now that kind of forecasts to have a 3-day to the upside, and eventually, this is like a good sign that we'll be taking out next week's high and looking for long trades tomorrow. But in terms of Apple, it was the type of thing where one other thing I'm looking at, although I don't want to get into it too much here, I'm following the Inner Circle Trader on YouTube and following a lot of his videos. They're excellent. I recommend it. It can show you how to trade price action, especially with index futures and everything else. But one of the things, discussed, and I have always looked for it too, so a lot of the stuff I do goes hand in hand with that, although I don't trade the exact same way. But in this case, what I wanted to watch, and it seemed to develop on the 1-minute chart, if I really zoom it in, we came down and took out the stops down here, which is kind of the setup in many cases. This was the obvious stop that was going to be in place on an overall up bias day. Then we came up strong and formed, what he calls like a fair value gap, if you watch the spacing of these bars. And then I kind of bought into that gap. That was along the same line as my 15-minute bar, getting a 2 down, 2 up. That confirmed it. So, I was just kind of playing around with the fact that what he's talking about definitely works on stocks. And you have to there's a lot to it. I mean, and I'm certainly not an expert. I just have been following enough videos to know it's excellent information if you're interested. But other than that, it's just interesting the way the trade I would normally look for also aligned with clearly, algorithms taking out stops, then bouncing up to confirm it, and then giving you the opportunity to get in exactly where he describes it. In this case, perfect opportunity to get in, take the exit, and now we're coming down because that was going to be the target where algorithms were going to take out some buy stops up there as well for anyone who's shorted the market. So it's just an interesting development. But overall, good trade to end of the day. We have about a half hour to go. I guess you could almost look at this here as taking out the sell stops. The buy stops, and right here as I'm filming, you have the 1-minute fair value gap forming here. So if you really want, you can sell up here and look for a move all the way back down if you think it's not really the move I think you're looking for, because the bias is still up overall to end the session. But in general, that's the type of trade you look for when you are biased to the short side. So anyway, I'll end it there, but a good trade in Apple to end the day.